Hello, everybody. It's 420. Yay. Uh, Usually I say go green on 420, but today we did not go green. We went big red today. Holy shit here. Look at this. We're looking at NASDAQ. Big red day, minus 1.5% today. We've recouped about half the losses in after hours now. The futures are kind of bussing, so that's pretty cool. Tesla had really good earnings, but overall, we got really bad earnings from Netflix. They suck a big dong, and yeah, it just brutalized the entire market, especially some certain names that also had really shitty earnings last quarter, and I think people expect them to have shitty earnings again this quarter because a lot of the reasons they had such terrible earnings aren't going to be remedied over a 3-month period, like user growth or just like overall revenues, like those kind of things that are just trending down are only going to keep going down, most likely. Facebook, to name one off the top of my head. PayPal as well had terrible, terrible day today. But we'll first look at the Qs. So today we had a pretty rough price action for Nasdaq. Just big red candle, a little chop up, big red candle, a little chop up. Lots of just pullbacks, fake outs. Nothing held up. Bullish, anyways. One notable thing was that we did barely hold this key level, this huge key level here at 341. We closed the candle, had a big wick down. We wicked her up and retook that with a big, fully engulfing green candle on the 30-minute, and we reclaimed that level. So that's pretty big. We were holding it after hours too, or bouncing off of it after hours. So I'm just gonna watch that level. I think tomorrow, since Tesla had good earnings, tomorrow can be good. We have Powell talking, but that's not until after the market closes, unfortunately. So we won't be able to watch the real time pumping while the market's actually open. But I expect we will probably go down, break 341 tomorrow if we don't gap down already below that, and I will see if we can hold 337.80. That's the next key line of support we have over here. If we can hold that, we'd have a cheeky little another inverse head and shoulders. I always talk about that. So that could be a really bullish development if we get that. But that is what I'm expecting tomorrow from the Qs. I don't really see any reason to be bullish right now with this terrible price action. We cannot, for the life of us, string together a 3 or 4 day stretch of green. So it tells me just way more uncertainty than there needs to be in tech. It might take a couple days for everything to settle down. That's what I'm looking for. Another thing worth noting is that we rejected this gap fill for the third time. So we do have a triple top, which is very bearish. Just gonna, I mean, it's only on this like 30-minute. It's only been like since what? Yeah, the 11th. So this has been over a week that we've topped at this level right here at 347.50. Or no, not 347.50. Yeah, 347.50. So we do have a triple top there. Pretty bull or bearish pattern. But I'm just gonna watch those levels for tomorrow. Yeah, and almost every time we've tapped that, we've had very hard rejections off of it. So that's what confirms the triple top. A triple top is usually a nice slow crawl up to it and a hard rejection off of it. And that's what we had every time. A little crawl up, bam, knocked down. We had a nice crawl up yesterday and destroyed, smacked down. Oh, Beethoven, you're getting a little loud over here, buddy boy. There you go. So that's how I'm looking at the Qs. As for the overall market, let's look at SPY. So overall, SPY did nothing. It went sideways. Not SPY-D, the SPY. We went sideways all day on SPY. Look at this. This 200 EMA, this white line is perfectly even with that key level now at 445 or 444.50. Holy shit! How about that? Yeah, SPY just chopped around today. It didn't pick any direction really until later in the day. It picked down for a moment there. But otherwise, just not a very exciting day on SPY. Try to make that quieter. So, yeah, we did get a break of that key level. We got one break of it. Same thing on the NASDAQ. It's crazy. I'll show you. I can add SPY plus QQQ. Look at that. You combine the two charts and they have the same exact price action almost right here. Rejection, or big old pull down past that level, and then bam, big bounce off of that. So that's the type of price action you want to see around a key level that you just recently retook, which SPY did just recently retake this. It shows you there is support there. That is a level worth watching. And when you get a big red candle like that, that's immediately taken by a big green candle. Even though we only closed right above it, it's still a pretty good sign. Right now we're at like 446 in the futures, but I don't really care about the futures. To the downside, I will be watching to see if 444.50 the ski level is broken. If it is, I will watch for the 50 SMA or the 50-day moving average, simple moving average on the 30-minute here at 441. It'll probably be at like 442 by the time it comes close to that. If that doesn't hold, then that's super bearish for a SPY. That's definitely a sell signal. I'll look at puts then, but yeah, if that doesn't hold, we'll probably go back down and retest 439. To the upside, we are getting close to this huge rejection line. This is a very big deal right here, this rejection line. This is the one that stretches all the way from this pullback. So big thing to watch out for is if we can get up here and actually break through it. It's going to be about 448 that we have to break through that line. So sheesh, it's at 446 right now. So we could gap up and be only $1 away. If we gap up and we go up and tap that, I absolutely 100% will be willing to bet that we'll go up and gap up, tap that line, and fucking tanker back down. If that is the case tomorrow, if we do gap up. So that's what I'm going to be watching for on SPY. But hey, if we get a clean break of that 448 line, that is a huge development on SPY. I know the Dow Jones just broke its. I never look at the Dow, but we got to take a look at the Dow for once. So Dow Industrial Average just broke its resistance here, so that's definitely worth noting. A very big development because it started pulling back with the rest of the market as well. So that's worth noting. It's hard to imagine a scenario where the NASDAQ just keeps tumbling, meanwhile the Dow keeps going up. I cannot comprehend that. If that were to happen, that would just be insane, but yeah, definitely worth looking out for. I don't know what's worth looking out for, I just said that. But yeah, not seeing much else on SPY. Let's look at the daily volume. So another thing, yes, this is SPY, right? Another thing worth noting is that we had very low volume. So it seemed like today, I mean, if you were in tech like I am, then it seemed like the world was burning up and we're all going to die. But for the rest of the market, nothing else is really happening. Banks were just holding up everything else. So it was really just the NASDAQ getting hammered today, obviously, because Netflix scared everyone. So it's nice to see that this didn't just trigger a huge market-wide sell-off, but that the SPY held strong. The Dow Jones actually had a good day. So it could just be tech is panic selling for a little bit. We just need more good news, and hopefully that comes in the form of good earnings from maybe Facebook and Apple and Amazon, Google, Microsoft. That'd be great, but to be seen on that. Hopefully Jerome Powell can pumpeth the market like he normally does. But yeah, I fully expect if we don't break this resistance by the end of the week, I absolutely expect we will head on down to support, which we have right here. This red line I just drew. Support would probably be this key level here, 440, 439-ish. So yeah, that's my target for the end of the week. Hopefully SPY can break 448 and at least get above resistance. If not, I expect more downside. So Square. Square. What a terrible day. Down 9% today. Not good on Square. Square looks like hot doo-doo right now. It had a nice big green day, the biggest green day it's had in weeks yesterday. And what do we get following it? A huge, big, fat red dildo that is about twice the size of that daily candle from yesterday. So it does not get much more bearish than that. We are approaching, and also, not sure I didn't see this earlier. What do you got there? Look at that. That is a big old fat bear flag on the weekly chart, which is not good, and we are about to break out of the bottom of it. So that looks like hot dog shit for Square unless we bounce, but Yeah, that's like a textbook bear flag right there. You got this big ol' top over here, pulls down, and bear flag as it starts consolidating upwards. It looks like it's breaking out of the downtrend, and then once it breaks the support, it flushes. So I fully expect Square will break out of that bull flag or bear flag to the downside, and we very well could see. We could probably see about $60 on Square if that does not hold up. I mean, you look at all the other fintech charts, and it's basically on par for what these beaten down fintech stocks have been doing. Um, if we do break out of it, we could just find support here at $82 and all will be well, or even 92. But since this is like such a clear bear flag, I'm not really buying that it would just be a little pullback. Like, bear flags on the weekly chart are brutal, and you break out of them and it's not looking good. And these two weekly green candles are just horrendous. Inverted green candles that tells you, oh, we started the week strong and then immediately lost all the gains. Started the week strong, wicked up, and immediately lost all the gains, and now we just got big red candles. So Square looks like hot dog shit. I really like puts. Under, and this is just not the company itself, just looking at the chart. That's all I do is look at charts. I can think whatever I want about a stock. It doesn't mean it's going to do what I think it should. And that's been very clear to me this past couple weeks that, I think stocks, tech should go up, and they don't. No matter how good the company is, they can just get ripped. So, just looking at price action because the charts don't lie. So, I will be watching. Gonna create alert. Bear flag break. So I'll be watching to see if we get a break under 113. If we do, I'll probably sell it short because that's a rock solid setup right there. Even I don't care. Even if Square, it used to be $300 stock, now that shit matters. If I see a nice setup, I'm taking it, and that is beauty. So that's all I got on Square. Well, actually, another thing I'll mention. Here on the hourly, you got this white line right here. We have rejected that a 1, a 2, a 3 times, and third time's a charm to show us a little more downside unless the market's bounced tomorrow. But hey, we could get. I mean, if we don't break through this, I'm absolutely bullish. If we bounce off of this and go up, because if you break out of a bear flag, it's not exactly a bad thing that it's a bear flag. It's a bad thing if it's a bear flag, you break out support. But if you get the bear flag and you bounce off resistance 3 times, then you break out of you bounce at support 3 times, break out of resistance, that can be super bullish. So I will just be watching to see if we can hold this level, and if we don't, then I sell it short and wait to see where it lands. But for now, let's look at the 30-minute. But for now, yeah, tech has just been so crazy. We had a nice breakout right here yesterday. This is what led. We broke out of this resistance right here, right there, and we just ripped yesterday. And what happened today? All gone within the first 15-minute candle. Such a crazy hard sell-off this morning on this stock. I could not believe it. So there's the actual resistance line for this whole pullback. So to the upside, I need some fib levels on my chart. Why do I not have fibs? I really like these fibs. They've been doing me pretty good, just as like levels to see where a stock is headed. Wow, and these fib levels, look at that. Look at those fib levels. How about that? So we bounced right off of that yesterday. Boom, bounced off of her and got a nice green day, or 2 days ago. Then that level, we got to it today and broke through it, and that's where it crashed. So we have to see a break of, what is this, 123.50 to the upside. So as of right now, we have... I mean, we just sold off all day, so we just have like a terrible... I mean, this isn't even like worth drawing a resistance line. So we just sold off all day. I'll be looking to see if we can break like 117. 117 or maybe even 119. Yeah, I'm not even sure. Now, I like 117. If we break 117, I like calls on Square. I think it's... I mean, it can just go crazy. If tech heats up, Square can go absolutely nuts. But that is what I'll watch. I like calls above 117 on square. Puts below the bear flag if we break out. Let's take a look-see here at Apple. Oh, actually, I want to go back to SPY. Jump back to SPY. Jump back here. Jump back there. Another thing worth noting on SPY. This is our weekly support here. So this pullback, we will probably test this weekly support if we pull back to 428, 30-ish, or even 430. That's just what I'm watching on SPY. So I'm not like, oh no, the walls are caving in, we're done, unless we break that level. That's just what I'm watching on SPY. I don't want to forget that. Alright, back to what I was talking about. Where the hell are we? Doody. Oakley dokley. We got a little sort of kind of breakout here on Apple. It held strong today amidst the sell-off. I had a huge sell-off candle in the morning, but we bounced pretty hard and kind of just fizzled around and just consolidated the rest of the day. I like the strength it's had. It tells me the strength it's been having amidst the chaos is a good sign that it's going to bounce hard once NASDAQ decides to reverse. So I'm going to be watching tomorrow to see if 166.76 can hold. If that cannot hold, I like puts below that level. And then to the upside, I'm watching... Where were we? Wrote it down here. 168.50. Yeah, so I love calls above this like 168.50 above the previous high of today. Even about 168.50. I like calls for Apple right there. If we retest that level and hold it, I like calls there, but above 168.50 for Apple, I really like that. Gonna look to see if we can get up to 170. That's the next key level that we resisted off of last time on Apple, and 169.50 in between that. But yeah, I like Apple's setup. It's had a nice curl here. It did have a little cup and handle that kind of fell apart, but it's been holding up strong at that level, so I'm keeping my eyes on that guy. Microsoft. All right, I really like the old setup here on Microsoft. Let's create alerts. All's here. So I love the setup I'm seeing on Microsoft. We got a nice clean little breakout of this resistance we had. We were chopping around this channel. We broke out of it recently, and it actually had a green day today somehow. So we got this little check here. We tested this resistance here at 290, and that's levels where I really love calls on Microsoft. If we can hold up support there. So support would be at around 280 on Microsoft. But it seems to be curling up right now. So I'm just going to see if we can keep that momentum going. It's made a new little high on this little pullback. Higher high, I should say, and I'll be looking to see if it can make a higher low. But yeah, 290 is just a big psych level. I think if we get that, we have this gap right here at 292. So if we can reclaim 290 strong, then I like it to the upside big time. Up to 292, and then a big old fat gap to fill to 296. So that's what I like on Microsoft. Microsoft's got a solid looking chart. Wait a second. Damn it. What chart was I looking at? Square? Okay. It's an Apple. Oh yeah, it was Apple. Aha, perfect. So, I didn't even talk about this. Another reason I really like Apple is we had this nice little, we tested support down here a lot. We really didn't break through it. So I really like that on Apple. Sorry, I'm chopping around, but I forgot to mention that. That support line we have right here, I like that on Apple. If we can hold that, if not, if we break 166.75, I think we go retest 165. If that doesn't hold, I like puts below there. On the record for saying that. And then last but not least, the Chinese poo-poo itself. BABA is make or break right now, so like I've been talking about, we got the big gap to fill below the big key level right there at 87.23. Gonna create a nice little alert on that level. Gap fill below. Huge gap to fill. I love the big gaps on BABA. But to the upside, I do like it to the upside because this BABA just, it's so crazy. I don't know how a stock could do almost the exact same thing every single day, but it's just nuts. It opens, big fat red candle, chops a little bit upwards. Open, fat red candle, chops upwards a little bit. Open, fat red candle, chops up a little bit, chops up a little, and it just is like climbing the stairs down. So that tells me that this resistance line is super strong, and that means that it's gonna be a big breakout if it does break above that. So distance break calls here. So I like BABA to the upside if we can actually break above this resistance. If we break above it and just drop right down below it and go down under 87.23, I love puts because gap fills are the king. And that is a strong fib level on top of a gap fill. So I got like two big reasons to really love that level. So that's what I'm watching on BABA. If we can break above like 91 or even, I mean, it is basically at 90. So I'm looking for a $91. If we can get up there, I like BABA to the upside because it just, when you see such a strong like downtrend, I really like when they break out of those because, I mean, that's just what BABA does. When it breaks those resistance lines, it has strong pushes. So that's what I'll be watching for BABA. I just really like the setup on that one. But yeah, overall, actually, let's look at the winner of the day, Tesla. So Tesla had a really crappy -5% day. Where did it open? It opened at 1030, $1,030. That's where it opened today, and then it had good earnings, so it went right back to where it opened. So Tesla, I will be watching to see if it can hold this key level here at $10, 10.1128. And if it can, I love it to the upside there. That's a nice looking, it had really good earnings. It usually goes down after earnings, no matter how good they are, so I don't expect that level to hold, but if it does, I like it. Yeah, that's about it on Tesla. Tesla, I don't know, they're a huge market cap, but even when they have good earnings, it doesn't really like send shockwaves through the market like you would expect it to, because they're just in a sector of their own. Like they're tech, but they don't have any like sympathies really besides the other EV names. So that's what I'm seeing on Tesla. Otherwise, not much of a setup. It has just really been consolidating hard over here. Just no movement. So, and it destroyed earnings. Like it almost doubled the earnings per share they had projected, and it beat revenue by like 800 million, I think. I don't have the exact numbers off the top of my head. Let's see, what kind of earnings do we got tomorrow? Okay, where are we? Yeah, not really any earnings to speak of tomorrow. Oh, Snapchat has earnings. Oh no. I bet Snapchat went down 10% today. Let's guess, guys. 10%? Snapchat. Nah, maybe if Facebook went down 8%. Yeah, about 10%. Ah, 8.5% for Snapchat. Ah ha ha. So that's a big fucking break right there on Snapchat. Damn. Alright, let me get some of these fucking drawings off here. Get out of here. Damn, that's huge on Snapchat actually. What the frick? Wow, that is a money setup I'm seeing on Snapchat to the downside. Oh boy, that's gonna be interesting. Snapchat did have really good earnings last quarter, so It could have the same effect, I would hope. It's hard to say because last quarter it went so crazy. It literally jumped up from $24 all the way to 35, 50 some percent jump. And that was really because they actually like made money, I think, for the first time. Basically, yeah, they were actually profitable. So I don't think once you pop that cherry, there's no repopping the profitable cherry. You took her V card, it's done for. So I'm not sure how the earnings would go. They do have really cheap options, so I might do a spread where I get a call and a put. We'll see. But what I'm seeing right smack dab right here, right now, with my own two eyes. Let's zoom out. Let's zoom way out. Way out. So I am seeing that we broke a weekly resistance. Not even a weekly, but just an hourly resistance. We broke a support. Why do I keep saying god damn? Yeah, we broke a pretty strong support that we had here. Right there, that big red line right there. That's a pretty big break of that. I will be looking to see if we can hold at like 29.30 tomorrow. That might be a bounce. There is still more gap to fill to the downside from the gap it made during earnings. So under 27.80, there's a big fat gap to fill, but that's a ways down there. So that's just worth watching. But yeah, not sure about Snapchat. It might just have like so-so earnings and it doesn't really do anything, but it's hard to imagine in this climate it just won't move if it has really freaking good earnings. Like, it's so annoying. So this... Oh no, it was profitable last time. Yeah, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, Snapchat. They always estimate that they're gonna lose money, but then they make money somehow. Okay. Well, last earnings they gapped down huge. They went from 73 all the way down to what? Yeah, 59. So, and then the next time they gap up. So it's just you have no idea what you're getting with Snapchat. It seems like they're one of the bigger growth stocks. Like they bank off of big growth, and every growth stock has been getting absolutely fucking destroyed. So it's tough. I'm gonna have to just see what the price action looks like. I'm not sure. It feels like it's just a really good opportunity to make some money off of it. And I know it's gonna be one of those where it's like, holy shit, it went up 30%. Look at Twitter. Fuck, dude, I called out. You didn't see I called out buy calls right here. How did you not see that, dude? Everyone else but you bought Snapchat calls. That is the worst feeling after these goddamn these fucking earnings where it's like, what? Everyone but you bought a put on Netflix, dude? No way. So I could just be me FOMOing into Snapchat, but it feels like it's gonna have some crazy. I would guess to the downside. That's just my honest guess. I hope not because we're in Facebook pretty hard. Oh, and that's what I haven't talked about. I love Facebook. All right, Facebook had one of the worst possible days imaginable, and is exactly why there is no ever there's never a 100% chance of fucking anything happening in the stock market. You can have the best fucking breakout. This was such a just beautiful, rock solid breakout of this resistance. Just blasted through it. Went up to the next level. Holy shit, we held that level. Oh wait, Netflix had bad earnings. Fucking dump. One of the worst dumps, besides obviously when it dumped off of last earnings. So... that, it tells me, everyone's scared of bad earnings once again. Whether or not it happens is to be seen, but the sell-off, the amount of money that has to sell off a $500 billion company, 8%, is a lot of fucking money. So I think people just don't want to take the risk. They'd rather wait and see afterwards. I think it's probably like a 75% chance they're going to be really shitty earnings, 25% chance maybe they're okay, but I don't see a situation where they're so good that it like blasts it up to the level it was at. Just like the problems, the company makes a fuck ton of money, but the problems that caused the initial sell-off were not, obviously everyone knows how much money they have. It was just the lack of growth, the difficulties with the Apple security policies, how they're changing on the iPhone, so Facebook can't just be a leech on every fucking iPhone out there and suck all the data out of it at all times, and they still haven't figured that out, what they're going to do about that. So these concerns are completely valid concerns have reflected in this chart that looks like absolute fucking ass cancer. Just terrible. It's so bad, this chart, dude. I hate Facebook so much right now. It's got to be one of the ugliest charts. Like, it's just a beautiful pull up and a nice drawn out pullback. Not a crazy pullback, but then a fat breakout. Whoa, holy shit, buy that. Fuck, dude, buy the dip, we're going back up. And then just destroyed. It just, this market is so news driven. Anything can ruin any setup at any given time for any goddamn reason. That's what stop losses are for. Of course, I don't have one. So I'm a Facebook bag holder, but thankfully we got a nice, this hourly candle is really nice, although the next one looks like dog shit. But a nice red hammer that tells us it wicked down, but it was bought up at that price to push it back above that level. And this key level is basically 200 or 199.50. So that's the key level to watch for. If we break that, I 100% expect we'll go down to 185. If we break that, I 100% expect I will sell this stock because I have no interest in holding it down to pre-COVID levels, which are basically, I mean, we're at pre-COVID levels now. It's just crazy. So, COVID tank levels, I guess, would be like 130, 140. Yeah. This is why every stock market tutorial person who does it for a living, they don't say, when you go into stocks, you buy what you think is going to go up, and if it doesn't go up, you just keep buying more of it. It tells you react to what the chart says. You react to the price action. The market will not react to what I think. I react to what the market thinks. I base what I think off of how the market is doing, I guess. Like, if that makes any sense. I don't have no good words, but yeah, it's very frustrating, Facebook. So I'm not married to the stock. I'm ready to fucking ditch it. There's a million other stocks out there that are great value right now that I'm actually confident in and haven't lost 40% of their value over the past 3 months. So yeah. In this volume too, like it's not just that it was like a slow sell-off. Like, look at this fucking volume. It's the hardest volume sell-off that it's had since earnings. It's abysmal. Absolutely abysmal. So it's clear the market doesn't give a shit about what I think. I need to remind myself that every day. It doesn't matter what I think. It doesn't even matter what the technicals think, what my due diligence. I can look at a stock and be like, it has so much money. Just look at BABA. You can look at 18 different stocks. Like, yeah, BABA's got all this money, but no one gives a shit. It matters what people think about the stock. And right now, people don't think Facebook's a good buy. And there's nothing I can do about that. It doesn't matter how much cash they have. The biggest thing we could hope for is that they do a buyback program and buy like 30. They have like, what, $50 billion cash on hand. So maybe if they bought back like a 5% or 10% of their free float, that would be huge for the stock. They should definitely do that. That is really the only way they could dig themselves out of this fucking hole they're in, because I don't think the pivot to the metaverse and everything is just, I don't think it's it. I think Mark Zuckerberg's jerking himself off thinking he's going to be the king of the metaverse, but everyone fucking hates Facebook. They hate Mark Zuckerberg. They're all slime. The only reason anyone no one buys a stock because of their ethical value. I would own no stock if I only bought ethical companies. Obviously, companies that just want to make money. This company makes a lot of it, so that's why I'm in it. But yeah, I think people just aren't going to react positively to them being like, hey, the main source of our ad revenue is kind of dropping, but we're going to be, that place you go when you put your VR headset on, we're going to be the guys in control of that. And people are like, oh, great, so TikTok is just going to take over? I don't know. I'm just rambling. So that's what I'm watching on Facebook. If we can't hold this 199 level, I love puts under there. I will buy a fat put. Then 195 is next, and voila. Oh, maybe that's why we're dumping. I forgot about this gap. So we do have a gap here. Have a gap to fill. 194 down to 192. So that gives me a little bit of hope. If we pull under that, I will see if that gap gets filled, and if it does, it could bounce off of that. So watching that, but that's all I got on Facebook. I went a little over in this video. Wow, 35 minutes. So you got a lot of me rambling, but yeah, that's about it, folks. Just gotta remind yourself that it does not matter what you and I think, what any of us think. It matters what the mass psychology of the entire market thinks. I don't care what I think. I mean, I can see a setup and like the setup, and if it's on paper a good setup, then I will go with it. And this was a good setup, but I'm starting to think it's not. So that's where I'm at with Facebook. Looking for the gap to fill. Below 185, I'm shorting the fuck out of it and making a bunch of money. So, yep, that's about it, folks. I'll catch you next time. Peace.